Hello everyone and welcome to the Daily Morning Podcast. First let's take a check on Indian markets closing of yesterday. So Indian benchmark indices yesterday also ended on a flat note. Sensex ended up by 0.12% and Nifty 50 closed up by 0.1%. The broader markets continue to outperform the benchmarks with Nifty Mid Cap 100 gaining by 0.5% and Nifty Small Cap 100 gaining by 0.9%. Talking about the major gainers on NSE yesterday, then Tata Motors, BPCL, Power Grid, Asian Paints, Adani Enterprises and Maruti Suzuki were some of the top gainers. And LTI Mindtree, Cipla, ITC, Britannia, TCS and Reliance Industries were the top losers on NSE yesterday. Moving on to the sectoral performance on BSE, then a couple of BSE indices that closed on a positive note were BSE Power, Consumer Durables, Consumer Discretionary, BSE Telecommunication, Auto, Metal and BankX indices closed on a positive note, with BSE Power and Consumer Durables gaining the most by 1.5% and 1.2% respectively. The losers on BSE on the sectoral front were BSE Healthcare, which was down by 0.3%, and BSE IT almost closed flat with losses of 0.01%. The overall market breadth continued to remain in the favor of advances, as about 2,245 stocks advanced and against them 1,667 stocks declined. About 220 stocks made 52-week highs yesterday, which included companies like BPCL, Crompton Greaves, Genus Power, Jindal Saw, IEX, Welspun Living, and about 19 stocks made 52-week lows. On the fund flow side, FII's net sold rupees 5,599 crores and DII's net bought rupees 5,565 crores in the cash market yesterday. Looking into the global market cues for today, then the US benchmark indices overnight ended on a mixed note ahead of the Fed meeting outcome tonight. While Dow closed with the gains of 203 points, Nasdaq and S&P 500 closed with losses of 1.3% and 0.5% respectively. The Asian markets are currently trading mixed with positive bias, and hence we expect a flat to positive start for our market today. Now moving on to the key results which were declared yesterday. First one is Tata Consumer Products. The company's consolidated revenue has grown 16.3% year on year. EBITDA has grown 22.4% year on year, while PAT has declined 14.3% year on year. Overall, the company has reported inline set of numbers, and the company's India beverages business performance has seen some impact due to the intense summer during the quarter, but overall it's a decent set of numbers from Tata Consumer Products. RR Kabel's Q1 revenue has grown 13.2% on a year-on-year basis at rupees 1,808 crores. EBITDA has declined 16% year-on-year to rupees 95 crores, and PAT has seen a decline of 13.3% year-on-year to rupees 64 crores. So overall, it's a weak set of numbers from RR Kabel. Navin Fluorine International's Q1 revenue has grown 6.6% year-on-year. EBITDA is, however, down by 12.1% year-on-year, and net profit is down by 16.8% on a year-on-year basis. EBITDA margin has contracted to 19.2% from 23.3% in the corresponding quarter of last year. So overall, it's a weak set of numbers from Navin Fluorine International. Macrotech Developers Q1 revenue has grown 76% year-on-year. EBITDA of the company has stood at 757 crores against 330 crores in the corresponding quarter of last year. EBITDA margin has seen a sharp increase to 26.6% from 20.4% in Q1 of FY24. Net profit has stood at 476 crores from 179 crores in Q1 of FY24. So overall, it's a very strong set of numbers from Macrotech Developers. Dixon Technologies Q1 revenue has grown 101% year-on-year. EBITDA has grown 87.9%, while PAT has grown 109% year-on-year. So overall, strong set of numbers from Dixon Technologies as well. Indus Towers Q1 revenue has grown 2.6% year-on-year. EBITDA is up by 10.8% and net profit is up by 3.9%. EBITDA margin has increased to 61.6% from 57% in the corresponding quarter of last year. So overall, it's a decent numbers from Indus Tower. Now, a couple of companies which will declare their quarterly results today are Action Construction Equipment, Adani Power, Ambuja Cement, Asahi India Glass, Aster DM Healthcare, Bank of Baroda, BHEL, Birla Soft, Coal India, Crompton Greaves Consumer Electricals, Electro Steel Castings, Five Star Business Finance, Godrej Properties, Greenply Industries, and many mid and small cap companies will declare their quarterly numbers today. Now moving on to some of the stock specific developments, then in Hindustan Zinc, the company has received an income tax demand worth rupees 1170 crores for assessment year 2021. This demand is based on identical disallowances and additions imposed in previous years, and the company has secured favorable orders from the income tax appellate tribunal on these same issues in earlier years, but overall this can be slightly negative for Hindustan Zinc in short term. M&M Finance has approved raising up to rupees 1,500 crores via bonds. The size of the issue is rupees 250 crores with a green shoe option of up to rupees 1,250 crores. So overall a positive development in M&M Finance for short term. Adani Energy has opened QIP at a floor price of rupees 1,027.1 per share, which is at 9% discount to the yesterday's closing price. So overall positive for Adani Energy in short term. Vedanta has received go-ahead from 75% of its secured creditors for its planned split into 6 independent listed companies. The company has received a tax demand of rupees 1,289.1 crores from National Faceless Assessment Center for the assessment year 2021. So overall, the news are positive in short term. Power Grid has reported that rupees 40,000 crores undersea interconnection deal with the Middle East is incorrect, and the company has not made any assertions, and no such negotiations have occurred. So overall it will be neutral for Power Grid. Lloyds Energy has announced acquisition of a 77% majority stake in Techno Industries Private, so positive for the company. Samvardhana Motherson International will consider fundraising on 2nd August, so positive for the company in short term. Dhanuka Agritech will consider fundraising on 2nd August, so positive for the company in short term. Marico has received a 142 crore income tax demand for assessment year 2021 on account of various transfer pricing adjustments made. The company is planning to file a rectification application, so overall neutral for Marico in short term. Also, South India Bank has approved raising up to rupees 750 crores through QIP or other means, so positive for the company in short term. On the IPO front, today the IPO of Occam's Drugs and Pharmaceuticals will open for bidding. The price band is set from this particular IPO has already been open yesterday, and the price band for this particular IPO is 646 to 679 per share, and the total IPO size is 1,856.74 crores. Now on the bulk deals front, and PNB Housing Quality Investment Holdings PCC has sold 3.32 crore shares, which is 12.8% of the stake, at rupees 775.3 per share. Singapore government linked entities have bought around 2.9% stake at rupees 775 per share. Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund has bought 29.03 lakh shares, which is 1.11% of the stake. ICICI Prudential Life Insurance Company has bought 14.19 lakh shares, that is 0.54% of the stake. DSP BlackRock Mutual Fund has bought 13.7 lakh shares, about 0.52% of the stake. And HSBC Mutual Fund has bought 13.48 lakh shares, which is 0.51% of the stake, at rupees 775 per share. In PDSL, ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund has bought 10 lakh shares, which is 0.75% of the stake, at rupees 554.9 per share. In Signity Technologies, Rajasthan Global Securities has bought 1.5 lakh shares, which is 0.54% of the stake, at rupees 1,365 per share. On the corporate action front, today is the ex-dividend date for Kamdhenu, Egarshi Motors India, Centum Electronics, CRISIL, DLF, EIH, Bata India, HEG, Sundram Finance, and Saksoft. So these are the key market data points to track going ahead in today's trade. That's it from the Daily Morning Podcast. Thank you everyone for listening.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.